And welcome back to period number 3 here from the Westchester Skating Academy in Elmsford. The BBD Ice Cats trailing the Mount Pleasant Ice Cats by a score of 6-2 as we go to period number 3. 3 goals late in the second after the Ice Cats had cut it to a 1-goal deficit. A goal by Bryce Wallace made it 3-2 Mount Pleasant, but they scored 3 goals late in the period, 2 by Robert Criscuolo and 1 by Aiden Dermody, and it is a 6-2 lead for Mount Pleasant. Here comes Michael Donahue all the way through the crease. It goes beyond the reach of Koichi Watanabe, who scored the first goal of this game. Jack Patachi can't get it away from Donahue. He's way too physical, way too strong. He's a tier 1 player for the Westchester Express. And it's cleared out. Bowler can't chase it down. So Donahue will turn and find his way into BBD territory. Aiden Garvey going back for BBD. And Mount Pleasant will change, and a tough change that's broken up by Spencer Abrams, who winds and fires it off the shoulder of Ben Bottolieri, and it's held in by Abrams. He will whip it down the wall. Abrams with a good shot on Bottolieri. Mount Pleasant will take over, though, up 6-2. It was a 2-0, rather it was a 3-1 lead for Mount Pleasant after one period. Then Bryce Wallace with a power play goal cut it to 3-2, but the bottom fell out for BBD after that as Robert Criscuolo scored 2 goals late in the period, and it is now 6-2. Spencer Abrams taking over in his own zone. Justin Sarrazin, now Kenny Graniker reaches forward, but he can't keep the puck on his stick. Bryce Wallace does. Hands it back to Graniker, but he got bumped off the puck. Over forward is Sarrazin, but he couldn't pick it up. And Mount Pleasant's able to clear as Gaetano Hayes sprints Criscuolo over the BBD line. Winds and fires it. Alfidi is there to stop him and grabs the second one out of the air to halt play just over 2 minutes into period number 3. Criscuolo looking for the hat trick. Played his fall hockey with the Westchester Vipers, did Robert Criscuolo. And it's still playing, actually, because they continue to play. And you remember, you can play travel and high school here in New York. Ryan Merrill going after the puck, playing wing here in this game as Rusty Graniker looks for some combinations to try to change things up. Unofficially 25-20 shots on goal in favor of Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant's never really had a problem scoring goals this year. They scored 5 in their win against Byram Hills in their opener. They scored 4 in the loss to Carmel High School. They scored 4 in a loss against Brewster High School, Brewtown, the co-op of Brewster and Yorktown. Here's Kyle Bowler behind the net. Anthony Britton looking for a way through. Britton on net. Bottolieri butterflies it away. Alex Smith couldn't tee it up with Sheehan Farjan all over him. Kyle Bowler down for it. Couldn't get it away from Koichi Watanabe. Now it's Michael Donahue, left side. Here's Watanabe, who scored the first goal of this game, and Alfidi prevents his second goal. Alfidi with a good save. Centering pass to Donahue with a backhander that somehow Alfidi saw and sticked aside. We've played just over 3 minutes here of the third period. Here's a shot from the point that's blocked by Bowler. Donahue gets it back all the way through the crease. Watanabe didn't see it. It's held in by Mount Pleasant. In the crease, it's taken away by Bowler, who motors out of his own zone and down the right side. Here comes Bowler between 2 men, but he can't get it away from Ian McKenzie. Well, Donahue goes back for it. Clearly the best player on the ice tonight, not even close. Abrams whipped it in front of Bowler. It ends up on Bryce Wallace's stick. Wallace winds and fires it, stick to side by Bottolieri. Here's Brian Merrill. Plays it to the point to Wallace. loads it up and fires. Bottolieri tips it up into the protective netting and stops play with 11:02 left to go in regulation. Mount Pleasant 6, BBD 2. As we said, goal production really not the problem for Mount Pleasant. Their problem was defending goals. And here's Merrill with a shot that's blocked by Bottolieri. Bryce Wallace again holds it in. It bounces off Garvey and wide of the net. Not by much. Spencer Abrams is there. Tried to backhand his way through. Brian Merrill sweeps it on net. Bottolieri will cover as BBD has had pressure here with this largely junior unit. And they will keep the play in the offensive zone. Brian Merrill coming up to take it away from Farjan. Matt Riddle will hold it in, but Merrill didn't see it. Riddle will hold it in again. Brian Merrill backhands it away from Gaetano Hayes. Ice Cats trying to hold it in the zone. Ian McKenzie, though, was able to flip it out. Icing waved off, so Bryce Wallace will have to go back for it. Wallace, the only non-senior captain on this BBD team. The other three are seniors, as Bowler couldn't pick up the puck, but Abrams clears it out. And Mount Pleasant will be more than happy to play pitch and catch. A turnover here. Here comes Bowler, but he couldn't catch up to the puck that squirted away from him. It's held in by Anthony Britton. We'll send Bowler in after it. Garvey to Britton. Good play by Garvey to hustle and keep that in the zone, but it's cleared out by Mount Pleasant. Here's a breakout for Farjan. Over comes Garvey to separate him hard from the puck, and Farjan is slow to get up. And the referee will stop play as Garvey laid the wood to Sheehan Farjan. And Farjan just a little slow here getting up. And a good job, Garvey, cheering him on to get up. So the faceoff will be in the neutral zone with 9:43 to go here in regulation. Mount Pleasant 6, BBD 2. Our video basically went down after the Bryce Wallace goal, so you did not see the 3 goals that Mount Pleasant scored in the last 3 minutes, one of which was a shorthanded goal by Robert Criscuolo. He had 2 in that sequence, the first of them shorthanded, and the other goal by Michael Donahue. Here comes Garvey around the right side, seeing his first action of the season tonight after missing the first 3 games in Maine with a knee injury that he suffered playing for the Western Junior Colonials midget team in the fall. Here's Michael Donahue, got around Britton. Kratacci awaits him. Kratacci has the puck and sneaks it into the neutral zone. Jack Kratacci plays it away from Donahue. It's stolen by Watanabe. A shot was blocked by Garvey. Donahue and Garvey go to the corner. Donahue comes out with it. Skates to the middle. Backhander stopped by Alfidi, but he couldn't cover it. It's loose in the slot. Watanabe pokes it in. Second goal of the game for Koichi Watanabe. And now it is a 7-2 lead for Mount Pleasant. Hard to believe. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and now Watanabe again in the third. So he has the first goal and the last goal so far for Mount Pleasant. By far their best offensive output of the season. 5, as we mentioned, was their high. They now have 7 here against BBD. Here's Garvey with Abrams cutting to the net. Abrams couldn't get it around Ian McKenzie, and the puck is cleared. The goals for BBD tonight by Alex Smith and Bryce Wallace. Here comes Kenny Graniker into the offensive zone. Couldn't get around Watanabe and then gets run over by Donahue, and that'll be a penalty against Donahue, hitting Graniker from behind. So BBD will go back to the power play for, I believe, the 6th time. They gave up a shorthanded goal in the second period. BBD will see its first Connecticut opponent on Wednesday in the Massac Panthers. Massac was trailing Sheehan 5-1 last time that we checked. Massac has 2 wins this year. But the Sheehan Titans are the prohibitive favorite to win the D3 championship. So this is listed as a 1-minute power play. I don't really understand that. That might not actually be accurate. But it'll be Spencer Abrams, Aiden Garvey, Kenny Graniker, Bryce Wallace, and Matt Riddle. And I think the referee is going to stop for a second until the scoreboard is fixed. It should be a 90-second penalty, which is still unusual. And that's what they do in New York, apparently. So BBD, with their first 4 opponents being out-of-state opponents, 3 in Maryland and then this one in New York, they certainly have had a chance to fatten up on the point department, but all they've managed so far is a tie against the Brunswick Dragons up in Maine. They trail here tonight as Spencer Abrams whips it out in front. Graniker was a little bit too far removed, and the puck is cleared by Mount Pleasant. Halfway through the third, for Tachi, it bounced off the skate of Wallace, and Gian Farjan will play it down. Down to 45 seconds left in the power play. The power plays go by very quickly when they're only 90 seconds. Ryan Merrill holds it in the zone. And it's intercepted by Aiden Dermody, who plays it off the wall. Took a funny bounce, and Graniker will have to go back to cover up. 7-2, Mount Pleasant with the lead as Brian Merrill tries to sneak his way through. Ben Bottolieri will cover and hold it. Ice Cats' next 2 opponents are also teams that will be near the bottom of their respective standings. The Massac Panthers on Wednesday and Fox Lane of Armonk, New York on Friday. Here's a shot that's knocked down by Bottolieri off Britton's stick with 17 seconds left in the penalty, and it sneaks past Garvey and down the ice, and that should do it for the power play. Seven total out-of-state opponents this year for BBD. These first 5 out of 6, including Fox Lane. They will play 2 more out-of-state games in early February. On consecutive days, they'll go down to the Ice Hutch in Mount Vernon, the place that has the Teflon bubble, when they play the Eastchester Eagles. And then the next day, they make their every other year appearance in New Jersey against Newton Lenape Valley of Newton, New Jersey. Those are their 7 out-of-state teams. Puck cleared down by BBD with 23 seconds left in the power play. The penalty to Michael Donahue. Intercepted by Britton. Gets around one man. Britton walks in, and his shot is stopped by Bottolieri. Terrific move by Britton. Bottolieri's even better. Here's a Bryce Wallace. Whips one wide of the net as the penalty expires to Michael Donahue. And watch out, because he's going to come flying out of the penalty box. Here's Bryce Wallace working his way into Mount Pleasant territory. Stops and shoots one off of the shoulder of Bottolieri. Koichi Watanabe plays it down. Spencer Abrams will go back for BBD with 5:26 to go here in the third period. Robert Criscuolo has 2 goals in this game. Michael Donahue has a goal. 2 goals for Koichi Watanabe, and Ian McKenzie has a goal as well. For BBD, it's Alex Smith and Bryce Wallace. That one sneaks through the goal mouth. Aiden Garvey goes to pick it up, but it's cleared out by Mount Pleasant with just under 5 minutes to go here in the third period. 7-2, Mount Pleasant with the lead. Robert Criscuolo will whip it around the wall. Koichi Watanabe sends it out to center ice, and they'll be more than happy just to play pitch and catch at this point, as Alfidi alertly picks that one up. And so the faceoff will be in BBD territory with 4:36 to go. Shots on goal are pretty even, 30-29, but a 5-goal difference on the scoreboard. 7-2, Mount Pleasant. Alex Smith will take the draw. So in their 3 and almost 4 games so far this season, BBD has been outscored 22 to 8. Obviously, some of that is skewed by the 9-0 loss against South Portland, a team that's really what you would consider by Connecticut standards a Division I team. Here comes Kyle Bowler into the offensive zone, has Britton with him. Bowler, a good job by the defense to force a saucer pass through the middle, and Ben Bottolieri is able to grab that. If you take that out, they've been outscored 13 to 8. Here's Spencer Abrams taking the draw against Michael Donahue. BBD worked quite a bit on faceoffs during the week, but Donahue wins that one, and Garvey whiffs on the clearing pass. So here's Koichi Watanabe holding it in the zone. Jack Crotacci goes back for BBD. Here's a shot by Donahue, blocked by Spencer Abrams, and cleared, and Bowler almost had a breakaway up the middle. Bowler tries to scoop it back. He does so onside, but loses the puck along the wall with 3:22 to go. Donahue couldn't pick it up. Jack Crotacci will go back to try to mark him, and Crotacci can't separate him from the puck, but Alfidi gets in the way of the shot and holds on for a play stoppage with 3:12 left to go. A game that certainly was winnable for BBD at the start, but they gave up a goal 9 seconds in to Watanabe. Another one a couple of minutes after that, and we're down 2-0 before they could even break a sweat. Mount Pleasant added a goal in the middle stages of the third to go up 3-0 before Alex Smith got one back seconds later to make it a 3-1 game after one period. Then Bryce Wallace on the power play. Here's a shot by Wallace that goes wide of the net. Wallace, a power play goal midway through period 2, made it 3-2, and this looked like a game. Here's a shot by Donahue that's stopped by Alfidi, and we get a play stoppage. But right after that Wallace goal, the bottom fell out for BBD as they gave up 3 goals in 3 minutes in the latter stages of period 2, including a shorthanded goal by Robert Criscuolo. And so that pretty much iced the game. A goal here in the third by Koichi Watanabe, his second of the game, and it is a 7-2 contest. Ryan Merrill clears it out. Here comes Justin Sarrazin down the left side as the bench has been lengthened for Mount Pleasant. Criscuolo, he does chip it over the stick of Garvey, and so BBD has got to tag up. Here's Sarrazin, can't find the puck. Brian Merrill used that long reach, but just a couple of inches too short. Crotacci can't clear it. Here comes Criscuolo. Tried a big toe drag around Garvey, and Garvey was able to win that battle with 1:55 to go. Here's Graniker. Crotacci. Alex Drazel now on as BBD starting to lengthen its bench a bit as well. Gardecki is out there. Crotacci, Gardecki. They tie up with a couple of Mount Pleasant forwards as Wallace holds it in the zone. I think that puck had come over the line, and play will stop with 91 seconds left here from Elmsford. So Mount Pleasant will go up 4-2 now in this series. They won the first 3 games of the series before BBD took the last 2. And they're calling, I believe, a penalty on Mount Pleasant. They're calling, I guess, coincidental roughing penalties with 91 seconds to go on Christian Gardecki and a player for Mount Pleasant. I can't see who that is. So no loss of manpower with 90 seconds to go. Alex Nunez is out there with Bryce Wallace on defense. Wallace comes away with the puck. Here comes Bryce Wallace into the offensive end. Plays it behind the net. Taken by Nunez. A shot. And Nunez ran into Matt Labriola, and then the two of them get into it. And now Sheehan Farjan comes over to have words with Nunez. And so this game is starting to degenerate here at the end. And that's what you don't want. That's just what you don't want to see in a situation like this. So the penalty box is becoming a busy place as Nunez will head there, and a couple of players from Mount Pleasant will head there as well, with minute 9 left to go on the clock. BBD will drop to 0-3-1 with this loss. They'll have their next chance at a victory when they take on the Massac Panthers in Shelton. And it's amazing that not until Friday, when they play Fox Lane, will they have what is considered a home game, which will be in Brewster. They will not see the Danbury Ice Arena for 2 more games, Fox Lane, and then they play Martin Luther King Monday up in Enfield against the Eagles, before finally coming home on the 22nd to Danbury to play JBWA, Joel Barlow Weston Abbott Tech, on the 22nd. So they will not see the Danbury Ice Arena until the 22nd of January. Hard to believe, in a schedule that's already been weird to this point. Wallace couldn't hold the puck in. We've reached the final minute of play here, with Mount Pleasant up 7-2. 3 goals in the first, 3 goals in the second, and now 1 in the third. BBD had a goal in the first from Alex Smith, a goal in the second from Bryce Wallace, and that has been pretty much it. That puck is down there for Matt Hopcroft. Alex Drazel trying to send it in front, 38 seconds to go. Here's Dylan DeSalvo into the center ice zone. Matt Hopcroft there to pick it up, one of the seniors on this team. Final 16 seconds here as Jordan Parati plays it into Mount Pleasant territory. And that should pretty much make it academic. 7 seconds to go, and the final score from Elmsford will be Mount Pleasant 7 and BBD 2. We will see you next from Massac, from Shelton, on Wednesday night, but that is all here from Elmsford.